Fortune Faded by Red Hot Chili Peppers on XFM 104.9 with Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
Yes, we've said that before, of course, so don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, we've had some highs, some lows, some laughs, some tears. Karl, you're concentrating.
A lot of tears, mainly from the audiences.
Yeah. Now, before we get into that, before we get into talking about maybe some of the hijinks we've had, looking back, looking forward as well.
Yeah.
I came in, Karl was sitting at the desk, he went, alright? I went, alright, yeah. He went, see that Alan Clark diaries? I went, no, I didn't. He went, no, alright. A lot of people talking about it. He went, I've never kept a diary. Keeping a diary will always get you into trouble. And I said, like Anne Frank. What did you say, Karl?
The woman in the cupboard?
That's what he said.
The woman in the cupboard.
And I went, save it. Save it.
You never speak to Karl off air. Save it all from when we're on the wireless.
He went, but what did she do? What did she do except be in a cupboard? What did she have to write about? And I said, well, her thoughts. Do you know Anne Frank?
That's all I know about Anne is. There's no point pretending it.
Anne!
That I know stuff.
Yeah.
Right,
well, tell us everything you know about Anne Frank.
She was in a cupboard.
Yeah, what else?
If she didn't do that, I wouldn't know about her, seriously. That's all I know about her.
Yeah.
So what did she do?
But how do you think we know? We know about her cupboard because of her book, don't we?
But hang on, what in the bigger scheme of things, why was she in a cupboard?
I don't know.
Right.
I honestly don't know.
You don't know anything else about Anne Frank beyond the fact that, to quote you, she was in a cupboard.
Well, what's she done then? You tell me, why should I know more about her?
Firstly, I don't think she was in a cupboard.
She wasn't in a cupboard. She was in an attic.
Alright.
Yeah.
So what was she doing?
She was hiding from the Nazis. She was hiding from the Nazis.
But isn't that the first place they'd look? Sort of... work from the top down.
Carl, they weren't specifically looking for Anne Frank.
They weren't going, where is she?
Where's Franker?
If she gets that book out, we are in a deep shit. We've got to stop the book. They were just looking generally. She was, I think she was 13, 14, she was hiding, she was Jewish and she was hiding, lived in Amsterdam, didn't she?
Yeah, as much of her family were having to hide, being helped by, you know, friends, non-Jewish.
In a cupboard. The cupboards, you know.
And how long did she sort of hide up there for?
Until she was caught.
Long enough to write a book.
So she even got caught after all that?
What do you mean, so she even got caught? We're talking about one of the great, you know, humanist tragedies of our times, and you're going, she couldn't even stay hidden.
What do you mean, did she get caught?
No, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's not a great tip then, is it? Do you know what I mean? She didn't do it well. She didn't hide until they escaped it.
Her diaries are not a manual on how to hide from people. It's not how to win at hide and
I don't know
seek.
anything about her, and we might be going down at some ground that's a bit dodgy. I don't know enough about it. Maybe it's best just leaving it. All I was saying is diaries, you know, what do you do them for? Have you kept one, Steve?
Never kept a diary, no.
Right.
I can understand your fear that it might get discovered, someone might read it, find out all about your inner secrets. Of course, the good thing about you is you tell everyone what you think about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, there was to find a diary and go, oh, God.
I can't believe it. Carl doesn't like my haircut.
Yeah. Carl thinks I look like Dave Hill from Slade. Yeah, I told you that, didn't I? Yeah, I told you that.
Do you think they'll last, though, diaries and that? No, because they were a bit of a time killer, weren't they? It was something to do at the end of the day, whereas now there's iPods and that. Do you know what I mean?
It's fantastic! The iPod of Anne Frank.
Yeah. No,
new from Sony. That'd be great, wouldn't it? All her greatest hits. Who could forget? Oh,
well,
dear.
Leave that then. I didn't know it was that deep. I thought it was just like a, you know...
You thought it was like, didn't you?
Adrian Mole type thing. Yeah, what are we doing?
From my favourite album of last year, that. And, I can't remember. We'll be doing a bit of that, playing some of our favourite songs. We've, got a couple of requests. In fact, yeah, got one of the celebrity requests, Matt Lucas from, Little Britain, is listening in.
Oh, yeah.
So, is it your last show? I said, yeah. I said, do you want me to play a record? Yes, what's your favourite group? Guess Matt Lucas's favourite group. Now, remember, him and David are the new darlings of comedy. Yeah. They're cool, they're trendy, everyone loves Little Britain. They're comedy geniuses, they're only going to get bigger. What's his favourite group of all time?
That is tricky. Level 42.
No. Karl, have a guess.
Well, it's going to be something weird, isn't it, if you're saying this?
Well,
So, how old's the band?
they're probably about as old as him.
How old's he?
No. Oh, Karl, have a guess.
ABBA.
No, it's, why'd you say ABBA?
They're good, aren't they?
No, it's the Proclaimers.
The Proclaimers?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And I know he's listening, but, you know.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Proclaimers. I just can't imagine anyone getting that excited about them.
I bet that's why he likes you, because you hang out with him, don't you?
I do hang out with him.
He thinks he's,
yeah.
it's like the closest thing he knows one of the Proclaimers.
Wait till he meets my twin brother.
Yeah, yeah, he's gonna have a field day,
He
isn't
won't
he?
believe it.
Yeah. So I was honest. I said I can't play the Proclaimers, but we're playing another.
Where did they come? Because I don't really remember the Proclaimers particularly from when I was young.
Well, let me give you a little blast. I give a little, but in 2-part harmony.
Of course.
That was the
But
main
they were
thing.
very popular for a while, weren't they?
I think they had sort of 3 big hits in sort of about 1980. When was it?
Yeah. Oh, I forget.
80s.
Scottish. They did sing in Scottish accents, which I thought was quite refreshing. They didn't do the fake American thing.
No, that was good. Yeah.
But again, I just can't imagine sort of being in that. When would I be in the mood to put on a Proclaimers record?
When you've run out of Crankies stuff, I
I
suppose.
guess so, yeah.
If you've played all your Crankies records,
Yeah,
there's
and the
you know,
Muppets album.
Yeah, pop on the Proclaimers. Now, we were talking before the break about Anne Frank in her cupboard.
Yes.
Now,
I'm still a little bit concerned that Karl's not quite got his head around Anne Frank's diary.
Yeah.
It's not like a children's book. It's not like The Lion, Anne Frank and the Wardrobe.
no,
She doesn't
no.
go into a fantasy land when she goes into the attic.
I'm just glad that old Mother Hubbard didn't help the Nazis.
Sure.
Because that's the first place she'd look.
Yeah.
Isn't it? The Nazis go, we've got on with her, but she thinks she knows where she is.
Yeah.
She'd have gone straight there.
I think with Hubbard, it's like, if I just briefly, you mentioned Hubbard. Now, Hubbard goes to the cupboard to get, I can't remember exactly.
Her poor dog a bone.
She goes to get the dog
a bone. But when she got there,
The cupboard was bare.
cupboard was bare.
The poor
and
dog
so
had
the poor
none.
dog had none.
Is there more to that than cause that's all I remember. Is there further verses? Does she finally get a bone? Does she go on an
Oh, what,
adventure?
you mean the second verse is, then she looked in the fridge and realised that's where she kept the bones, and so the dog was laughing.
Exactly.
No, there isn't another verse.
There's not, that's all of it.
I think so. Oh, when they went to the cupboard to get a bottle of bone, when she got there, the cupboard was bare, and so the poor dog had none.
none.
No, I think that's the end of it. I think it's a moral. I think it's a moral that,
What's the moral?
if you got a dog, keep some bones in the cupboard.
Right. Because I always, even as a kid, I remember thinking that it's quite a tragic sort of picture they paint. I imagine maybe she's
It's
lost
short, isn't it?
It is short.
It's
It's
over,
pithy.
isn't it? It's that's amazing.
But I always wondered whether perhaps she's had a nervous breakdown. Maybe her husband's died recently. She's just not got any food
She
in.
doesn't know- she's just
she doesn't
looking in
really
the
know what's
cupboard.
going on. The dog's, yapping away. Eventually, she kind of wakes out of this kind of depressed stupor. She goes to the cupboard. There's nothing there. It's just a really depressing, morbid sort of tale. I don't know if maybe it's originated from something in history. I know that Jack and Jill went up the hill and they fell down again.
That's a
later.
story about illicit lovers.
That was apparently based on that. And obviously, Ring a Ring of Roses. It dates
Plague.
back to plague times. So I
Yeah.
don't know about Hubbard. Humpty
Was.
Dumpty. Not so sure about this. Well, this is something I remember as a kid thinking, at what point was it decided that Humpty Dumpty was a giant Eggman?
I don't know.
Because there's
It's not
nothing in the
mentioned
actual rhyme. There's no actually, it's not Humpty Dumpty,
It's not.
the
I don't
Eggman's
understand at
animal.
I don't know. My concern is more his parents were a little bit cruel, because if you are
Called
the
Dumpty.
Dumpties
Yeah.
of, say, Surrey,
Yeah.
don't call your firstborn Humpty.
Yeah.
Because straight away, it's going to be embarrassing for him
Yeah.
at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what it... I'm just saying, I'm trying to go all the council... Is that it as well?
That's all of it.
Oh,
and
God.
also, I don't mean to be pedantic, because I know
assume-
it's a children's
Is it
nursery
like
rhyme.
an Edward Lear thing, or... That's before
could
that,
be.
is it?
But I don't mean to be pedantic again, but if you've got a giant Eggman and he's fallen into bits,
Yeah.
all the king's men, fine, they're there, they can piece that together
Yeah.
again. Don't send horses in.
No, because
That's just a whole eggy,
not
horsey mess.
dexterous enough. They
Exactly.
can't. They're going to make it worse.
They're just going to be
They
standing
are
on
going to
it.
make it worse.
It's not a great
Just
idea.
standing on it. Get the horse out of the way. No, he's definitely not.
But again, maybe I'm sure some of the, the
It
mental
was probably.
people...
It was. If it was. Is it pre-Lewis Carroll or? If it's Lewis Carroll, it just came with the illustration.
I guess
that
so.
He gave it to someone to illustrate. Go illustrate Humpty Dumpty. He goes, "We've made him an egg."
Yeah, a sort of egg with eyes and a face.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose, because the moral of that is, if you're fragile, if you're an enormous egg,
Mr.
don't
Dumpty,
sit on a wall.
I'll get down from the wall. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there'd be no
That's the
medical...
way to happen.
Yeah.
Frankly.
I don't know, Karl. What was your favourite nursery rhyme when you were growing up?
Didn't really do that much reading as a kid.
Are you joking?
You surprised me.
You're joking.
What's the one with loads of people in a bed? What's that one?
Oh, there was one in the bed and the little one said, roll over. Yeah.
No, because that's not really even got a story to it, is it? That's
But
just...
hold on though, I'll stop you there. It doesn't even say people. It says there was 10 in the bed and the little one. Little what? They could be anything. I don't know what they are. Roll over, and they all rolled over and one fell out. There was 9 in the bed and the little one said, roll over.
Now,
again.
where is the little one in the
I
bed?
don't know, but worse than that, what has he got over the other 9?
That you can demand they roll out the bed.
And why is no one getting back in?
Yeah, they're just
go,
lying on the floor.
We're here now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But how does that end as well? Where's that going?
It goes on, there was one in the bed, and the little one said, again, he just says, presumably he's telling himself to roll over.
Yeah.
There was one in the bed, and there was a roller. So he rolled over, and one fell out, that's him.
That's him.
There was none in the bed, and the little one said, roll over. So now he's calling the shots, presumably laying on the pile of other...
They're just still rolling around.
I don't know, Karl. We've got to look into this. If anyone knows why Dumpty was an egg, if Hubbard eventually found a dog a bone, and what was the little one doing? What did the little one think he was doing, for God's sake?
When I saw my dad last year, he was telling me about a fella who's got some clothes you can see through. What's that one?
You don't mean the Emperor's New Clothes?
Yeah, what's that one about?
Well, that's a genuinely good little parable, that.
Yeah, because it's now used for people who are scared to sort of slag something off because it's sort of like really cool and they don't want to be the one that shouts it, and then one person goes, hold on.
Very
I've seen
briefly,
through this.
Karl, very briefly, the king wants some new clothes, right? He's the king, he goes, who's going to make me some new clothes? Various people come to me, he says, I don't know that, it's not interesting enough. One guy, who's just a bit of a con artist, he comes along, he goes, I've made you this magic suit, look, and it's nothing. He goes, put it on. The king puts on nothing, because there is nothing, but thinks there's something, because, he wants to buy into it and everything.
And he goes, it's the finest stitching. He goes, look at it, can you see it? No, they ask say, only a genius can see how good this suit is. And the king goes, yeah, it's brilliant, yeah, it's great. And he goes out, and just, is it a woman or a little kid?
Well, everyone's applauding it, they're going, you look great, even though his tackle's hanging out, he's nothing.
Even though he's got a king-size, sort of like, bit of meat and 2 veg, wobbling, dragging down the street.
Exactly. And then one little boy goes, he's not wearing anything.
The king is in the Altogether. Know that one?
So, well, did anyone else buy one? Or was...
Okay, play record.
Play a record, Karl.
Play record.
Karl.
Writing to reach you on XFM 104.9, alright?
Couple of emails here, try and respond to our requests for nursery rhyme related information.
Oh, go on.
Nikki Williams says that she was at infant school and she had a nursery rhyme book, and in the book, and this may just be the illustrations, but apparently the 10 in the bed in there were small baby monkeys, which you'll be loving, Karl. But again, I suspect that might just be the illustration that accompanied
I remember I had a book of nursery rhymes when I was little, and my brother, who was older than me, I was about 5, so he was about 16. I remember him and his mate just absolutely cracking up, because it said, up Jack got and home did trot as fast as he could caper. He went to bed and bandaged his knob, N-O-B, with vinegar and brown paper. I've since found out that knob is like the old English for head, but I didn't know why they were laughing.
Of course.
They were just cracking up. This was, whenever one of my mate's brothers came around, he said, where's your nursery rhyme book? And he'd read it to him.
Yeah.
And it was just the funniest thing in the world.
The brown paper and vinegar was a popular method, because didn't Jack and Jill use that? They used something similar.
No, that was Jack and Jill.
That was Jack and Jill.
Yeah, that's Jack when he broke his crown, which obviously, that means his head as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's fractured his skull on a sort of like an outcrop of rock.
Yeah.
And then,
Is that still used, the brown paper and vinegar?
I don't think it is.
I don't know, maybe in Manchester they're still using that, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Tracy and John Burton say that they reckon Humpty Dumpty was actually a cannon that used to sit on the walls of the castle in Colchester, where they live.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that would make a lot
on
more
a wall.
sense.
I had a great fall. The kings couldn't put hands together again. So they broke the cannon, or it meant it exploded.
Maybe the cannon fell apart.
Because people used to get blown up by cannons just doing it wrong, didn't they?
Sure.
Which is hoist by your own petard.
Right.
Where that comes from.
Right.
Coming back and blowing up in your face.
So that makes slightly more sense, because you would want to send for the King's Men then.
Yeah, and the horses.
I think the horses just came along anyway.
That was quicker.
Sure.
The quick King's Men, it took them about 3 minutes, with the horses there in about a minute. So, but I mean, if it blew up, there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So we got to the bottom of that. See, that educational, Karl. See, this is real education. You know what I mean?
It's got a bit heavy though, doesn't it?
What, Humpty Dumpty? Yeah, it has got a little bit heavy. Let's dumb it down a little bit. What do you want to do? Mary, quite contrary?
We're doing Rockbusters in a bit.
Hang on a minute.
What?
Before you even get to Rockbusters, Oh, man alive, there are loads more verses to Old Mother Hubbard.
Are there?
I'm going to digest these while we play the ads, and I'll see if there's any salient information I can give you afterwards.
Brilliant. Long time coming on XFM 104.9. With Ricky Gervais, Stephen Merchant and Karl Pilkington for the last time.
XFM 104.9.
Sad.
We've established that Hubbard went to the cupboard, Rick.
Yeah.
Get the dog a bone. The cupboard was empty.
Yeah.
As we all know. And
So the dog didn't have any. End of story. So the dog didn't have any.
Well, no.
Hold on,
Wait.
go on.
It turns out
what?
there's what appears to be something like 15 other verses.
Not really.
Unbelievable. I'm not going to go through all of them, Rick.
Right. Any
Basically,
information?
well, basically, I can tell you straight away that the dog initially had none.
Yeah.
She went to the baker's to buy him some bread. When she came back, the poor dog was dead. Right, you're pretty upset about that.
Yeah.
She went to the joiner's to buy him a coffin. When she came back, the poor dog was laughing. I don't know what he's up to.
Right.
She took a clean dish to get him some tripe, but when she came back, he was smoking a pipe. I mean...
Hang on, so the dog was winding her up then at the beginning, being dead.
I mean, he's pushing his luck.
But-
especially if she's already depressed.
But do you know, if I was that dog, right, and I live with Old Mother Hubbard, right, all that faffing around, I'd be going, I know there's no bones in the cupboard,
Exactly.
right? What do you mean you're going to get me some bread? I'm a dog.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in bread. Get me some hamburgers.
Yeah.
So I think I'd start winding her up.
She went to the Hour House to get him some beer. When she came back, the dog sat in a chair.
See, I'd have said the dog had turned queer.
Yeah.
Make it rhyme,
very
beliefs,
well,
and
does
also
it?
get a little, he's smoking a pipe, he's having a laugh,
I'm beginning to wonder
he's
if...
bent.
I'm,
He's bent.
I'm beginning to wonder if this is based on fact, though, in any way, because she went to the grocer's to buy him some fruit. When she came back, he was playing the flute.
He's gay.
No, it is the flute. It's not. Now this, I didn't even know there was a goat involved. She went.
Oh no!
She went to the tailor's to buy him a coat. When she came back, he was riding the goat.
Yeah, there you go. Dirty little. Oh, what?
She went to the Hatter's to buy him a hat. When she came back, he was feeding the cat. I mean,
I can't believe it. So I'm thinking the pipe's a crack pipe.
Hang on a minute. I think the gay thing's beginning to stand up.
Go on.
She went to the barber's to buy him a wig. When she came back,
He was having a frig.
he was dancing a jig. He's dancing a jig. You're dancing a jig.
Oh, he's dancing a jig, smoking a pipe, shagging a go.
This is a bit of left field one though. She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes.
Why does he need shoes? I bet they're high heels.
Wait a second though.
But
She went to the cobbler's to buy him some shoes. When she came back, you're never going to believe this.
What?
He was reading the news.
Brilliant.
She went to the seamstress to buy him some linen. Again, don't know why. When she came back, the dog was a-spinning.
Yeah.
She went to the hosier's to buy him some hose. When she came back, he was dressed in his clothes.
Why did she want to
But this is the big payoff that we've been building to.
Right.
The dame made a curtsy, the dog made a bow, the dame said, "Your servant," the dog said, "Bow wow."
Right.
I mean,
Okay. I'm going to probably do a few more verses during the next
during
song.
the course of the show.
Yeah.
Listen, before we move on, I should just say that we've had various people saying what was in the bed and what was the final line of the bed thing.
Why do they care?
It's extraordinary, isn't it? We've talked about politics in the past, great
Yeah.
music, we played great songs.
Yeah, we've got Monkey News coming up talking about politics.
But Danny's said that apparently it ends with one in the bed, little one said good night.
Because he was all
Because
happy, he had the
he
bed to
went in
himself,
there.
and there's
But Ava-
nine of his mates piled on the floor.
Rick, but Ava counters that by saying, actually, one in the bed, the little one said, come back, because he felt lonely. So
We're never going to get to the bottom of this.
I don't know, Rick.
This is the same as the Kennedy thing.
It's gonna run
There's
and run.
loads of different opinions.
Conspiracy theories.
I know, we don't know what's going on. Bit of Jimmy Webb, big go. Galveston. Fantastic version on XFM. 104.9. You know what, Steve? I know, people are going to miss the talk about little Chinese fellas, little gay fellas, little monkey fellas, and all that.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to miss some great tunes as well.
I'd hope so.
She went to the jeweller's to buy him a clock. But when she got back,
What was he sucking?
a chalk ice.
A chalk ice, fine.
So,
Fine, respectable.
yeah.
I sort of feel like, one thing we've never done, Rick, is we've never pandered to people, but as it's the last show, we've got to give the audience what they want.
Right, what's this?
Well, yeah, and I was going to say things they don't want as well. And just basically to keep a smile on Karl's face.
Yeah.
I say a smile, a sort of not quite a scowl,
Yeah, he never really smiles.
So, yeah, it's just brilliant as a chance for him to have a go. It's like, you know, you indulge an annoying child.
The only time Karl laughs is for no apparent reason.
Yeah.
What do you think, like...
What do you mean?
Well, sometimes you'll go... and I know you'll be thinking of what a monkey could do.
Yeah, it's like people who've had electroshock therapy.
Yeah! Oh, it's such a tied down biting on something.
Yeah.
Biting on a big leather pad.
Let me just tell you briefly what the prizes are. It's
that looks like a piece of shit.
Let me tell you, mate. Let me tell you. There's a number of mediocre CDs and DVDs.
That is real
But
tiny.
mainly, what about this? It's the Lord of the Rings Collector's Edition.
Oh.
What, the movies you're thinking? No, it's the Radio 4 adaptation. It's only 14 hours long, Rick.
Oh, that is... Throw that away.
So,
pop that in the bin.
that
is just... Either pop it in the bin or send it to some poor bastard who wins this quiz.
Exactly. If you're willing to take part in the quiz, you deserve 14 hours of your life wasted with that Tolkien tripe. So,
right.
Yeah, what are the clues then, Karl?
Right, as always, just, you know, cryptic clues and that. Initials of a band or an artist, work it out, win the stuff.
Yeah. Email only.
Yeah, ricky.gervais at xfm.co.uk. First clue is as follows. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for...
It's the good old Jamaican fella. Jamaican fella.
It's the last show the little Jamaican fella's made an appearance.
This normally suggests that you need to think of the answer in a Jamaican accent.
Yeah. Or not.
Yeah, or not.
Yeah, any accent.
Or
an accent. Or pronounce the word slightly differently.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, go on.
The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Alright?
Yeah.
DC is on the initials.
DC? D for Derek?
Yeah, okay. DC. The Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. That's the first one. Second one, three of them. Second one is, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, The Great Soprendo, Tommy Cooper, and Darren Brown. We should all vote for them. Why is that? What was...
I've just got the first one.
ES.
ES?
Right? ES.
Okay.
And the last one, Steve, what did your dad do? Huh?
Steve, what did my dad do?
What did your dad do?
Is that the question, or are you asking me?
Well, Ricky, what did your dad do? It can work on anyone. What did your dad do?
Alright.
Right? That's E. Right?
What did your dad do?
Quickly again, the Jamaican fella wrote a review for Phoenix Nights. Right? DC. Second one, we should all vote for Paul Daniels, David Blaine, Copperfield, Great Soprano. No, but that's important. Right? ES, and the last one, you know, Steve, what did your dad do? Right?
Okay.
The initial E.
Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. We don't want to speak to you. Please don't phone up.
Remember, you could win some Lord of the Rings tripe.
There's no more on XFM. Last Rockbusters everything on XFM 104.9 with Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Rick,
for the last time.
We've only really got 3 topics of discussion on this show. I think you agree with that.
Little Chinese fellas.
Little Chinese fellas.
Monkeys. And the gays.
The gay people.
Yeah.
We're hoping to cover all those subjects today. Monkey News is coming later. I'm sure we can find something to discuss about gay people.
We've done gays, we've done a few gays.
I suppose we talked about the dog thing.
Yeah, big time.
I think you'll be enjoyable. This is something that's got sent through to us. I'm not quite sure who by, but thanks very much for it. It's a story that was in the press recently. I'm not going to give you the headline. I think it gives away too much. I think, Karl, you'll be particularly interested in it. A farmer in eastern China,
here we go.
Basically, he paid £1,300, or the Chinese equivalent, to marry a woman. And basically, she refused to sleep with him after the wedding, complaining that she felt unwell. 6 days after the ceremony, she tried to run away, but the farmer followed her. He found her in some neighbouring town. They grappled together. The bogus bride's false breasts fell off.
And he's hard. It wasn't his hard up to his old tricks.
It wasn't his hard.
Trying to do another show in Chinese this time.
But it was a man.
Oh,
and, no. Apparently, it was an arranged marriage. I don't know who sorted that out.
Did he get his money back?
I think
I think men are cheaper than women, to marry in China, I think, on this.
But, I mean, you've got to be pretty simple not to realise that the person you're marrying's a bloke, surely.
Well, no, if he didn't have a little look, what was, you know, in the back of the store, he just saw the shop window, sort of lovely little Chinese lady there.
Yeah.
Right? You know.
The lovely hair, real breasts.
There's lumps where the breasts should be.
Yeah.
I can only assume they are breasts.
Yeah.
Right? You see women walking around going, what are they, breasts, or are they, stealing sort of grapefruits? No,
but wouldn't there have been a lot, I mean, wouldn't there be quite a sort of long initiation period when they
Not if it was,
first get introduced and so on?
Not if he put his money down. He came in there, said, right, I want a bird quickly, here's a grand.
Sure.
Get me one. They're not going to say, do you want real breasts, or they're just going to assume.
Sure.
Yeah, here's one.
Yeah,
Here's a little Chinese
But who is
lady.
he paying? Where is he buying this woman from?
From the Chinese lady shop.
From the Chinese lady shop.
Yeah.
Sure.
So,
Yeah.
there's one in Chinatown, I think.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
not really a town.
Not exactly a town, more a novelty street.
And the roads are very slippery.
Very sticky.
I tell you what, though.
What?
I was looking at their menus when I was walking out, and they don't waste anything, do they?
Why?
Duck's tongue on the menu.
Yeah, but it's better when you say it. Alright, duck's tongue. A duck's tongue, really?
You sure that wasn't the proprietor?
104.9. Karl, look at that. What is it? What is it?
An apple.
Right, okay. What am I doing to it?
You're messing with it.
Yeah, and what's happening to it?
It's gone up a bit.
Yeah! Would you kiss it for 100 quid?
No.
100 quid. Would you just kiss
No, I
it?
wouldn't.
Why? 100
What are
quid?
we doing this for?
I think I read the same feature on Wogan, I'm not sure. Seriously, Karl, I'm intrigued to know, how much would you
Yeah,
have to be
just
paid
kiss
to
it.
kiss Ricky's nipple?
Not suck it or lick it or anything like that. Just, like that, just on the nipple.
£5,000.
£5,000 to kiss my nipple? Well, if you do it for 5, you do it for 1. £1,000 cash to kiss my nipple.
I'm not doing it.
You're joking? £1,000 to kiss my nipple? Come on, it's the last show.
No, I'm not doing it.
2,000.
If you had the money there, and like, if you had it there now, I might do it.
For what?
I'm not doing it.
500 quid.
No, stop taking it down.
What's happening to
£2,000.
2 grand? So you've gone down from 5 to 2 straight away. Look.
Steve, what's going on?
I
Karl,
seriously think I'd like to see you kiss his nipple
Well,
for
it's not going to
£2,000.
happen, is it? So,
if Steve wants it and I want it, that's
not
2
gonna
to
happen.
1.
It's not gonna happen.
I thought it was a democracy, this
you're
show.
not educating Ricky or what?
Email in if you'd like to see, or rather hear, Karl
bother.
kiss Ricky's nipple for
Don't bother, because it's
£2,000.
not going to happen.
Come on, Karl.
Right.
It's not like it's Jono's nipple.
No.
It's next. Okay.
Would
Well,
you kiss this for,
right,
25
okay,
quid?
wrong. Now, what are you doing? What are you doing educating Ricky?
Do you want to set that
Why
up?
were you looking, by the way? Why were you looking at that? You didn't have to look at that.
We're doing...
Go on.
Right, this is when I teach Ricky stuff. Just give him some headlines to sort of tease him into what's gone on this week that you might want to know about.
Yeah, go on.
Right. Is that important?
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
you got
Headline one.
That'll be something to do with ants. So,
that. Where there's a way, where there's a will, there's a way.
right, okay, that'll be something about sucking mints.
Hook, line, and good thinkers.
God.
Right, so which of those are you choosing?
I'll have the, is that important?
What you want? You want to do it now? I was just
Oh,
going to
yeah,
leave
Yeah,
it.
no,
go
let's
on,
do
let's
one
give
more.
it this one now, yeah, come on. It's
All right.
Christmas Eve, open one, come on.
You know I don't like anteaters.
Why?
Okay, so I should just point out to people that as far as Karl is convinced, the stories that he's about to relate are absolutely 100% true.
Yeah.
You be the judge of whether
He's
you
seen
think
them on the
that's
internet, of course they're true. Go on.
Anteaters, yeah.
Why don't you like them?
I've told you before, I just don't sort of... It annoys me that an animal's named after what it eats. You don't need
Yeah,
it.
but it didn't choose it, did it?
Yeah, but if there's nothing else that it can be called, it's like, oh, what's it do? I don't know. What's it eating? It's eating ants, right? Let's call it an anteater.
What-
It's not good enough.
But why are you annoyed at it, though, for someone else calling it being lazy?
It obviously doesn't do anything else. Do you know what I mean?
But what do you want it called? The Chartered Surveyor?
Whatever, just a proper name.
What's the proper name?
Well, I'm just saying,
But tell me an animal that's a proper name to you.
a beaver is pretty good.
Why is that a proper name?
It doesn't matter anyway. That. I don't understand what they're
All right,
about.
you and anteaters have got issues.
Right, okay. Sometimes I genuinely don't understand what his thought processes are. Go on. Right, okay, an ant. You don't like anteaters because they just eat ants and that's what they're named after. Go on.
Alright. Do you know that an anteater
Yeah.
can stick its tongue in and out 160 times in a minute?
No, didn't know that.
Right?
Okay. Okay,
Oh, it's rubbish.
thanks.
No, but do you think that's good? Because
I don't know what that-
What do you mean? Shall I call Norris McWhirter? What do you mean, do I think that's good? What, compared to what?
You see, I read it and thought, so what? So it's interesting.
Well, we think so what as well.
So you still put it down as something interesting to tell me?
No, but it's the fact that that is meant to be amazing. I did
Who's claiming it's
148.
amazing?
I did 148 last night in a minute, right?
That's a record! Oh! Well, hold on. There's my nipple. How many could you do if it meant you had to touch my nipple at the end? £2,000. M1 and 4.9. We do talk twaddle.
Oh, God.
I mean, I don't know why we haven't got we haven't got any complaints, have we?
listeners?
We've had one.
No one listening.
No, it must be that, because Kilroy, he's probably got a big show, and it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But, you know, mind you, you know, I'd be annoyed if he'd have said that about me.
Yeah.
But he's got to be careful who he annoys, because he will end up having to move in with Salman Rushdie. Do you know what I mean?
Is Salman, is he still on the run?
No, he's out. I've seen him twice. I think he's out all the time now. I bet his flat's a pigsty.
Sure.
It was not neat when he was living with 400 CIA people and a couple of...
You
policemen.
remember he went into hiding, I think it was mid-80s, I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, that's all right.
He went into hiding, he was in there, he was hiding, basically, surrounded by security guards, confined to his flat for about 10 years or something.
I'd have thought so, yeah.
Have you ever seen a picture of his missus?
Yeah, are you annoyed?
Well, I mean, man alive, she's like I think she's like a former Miss India or something. Stunning.
Yeah.
Have you seen a picture of him? I mean, he might be a great man and a talented writer and an intellectual fella, but Jesus. Do something with the beard.
Well, yeah, but he's busy, isn't he?
What?
He's busy writing
How
stuff.
did he pull her? When he was just basically in there? In his flat?
I don't know. Internet?